And I remember that, that school choir really haunted a lot of kids. And if it came like to school plays, guys, anyone with my skin complexion was the devil. My God, it was so bad. You were either the devil or you were the thief. Anyone of my skin color. For you, a light-skinned person was Angel Gabriel, Mother Mary, Joseph. But anyone of my skin complexion was the thief, the robber. I was not even a wise man. Like, tell me why I'm not a wise. Yet I'm from the East. Hi, guys. I'm super excited. It's Journey 4. It's episode 4 of Crayons to Careers. Welcome to this amazing journey. Before I even get my excitement up, hi, guys. Have you subscribed? Have you liked? Have you even shared this link with your friends? Or you're just there watching for free? If you haven't, I'll forgive you for today, but just do that. Share this link with your friends and let's come have a raw conversation. Let me ask you the big question. Are you trying to earn a seat where you already belong? If you are that person, you're on the right floor today. Me and you are going to have this conversation. I was just reflecting yesterday at the office, and I was saying that when we were kids, we were introduced to concepts of life, or we were named before we even understood what these names they were giving us meant. How we were branded in school. You were either branded smart or daft, religious or non-religious, holy or not holy. You were branded stubborn. There were these words that were spoken into your life, and you didn't even make meaning out of them, but you already, you just go with the flow. Because I remember as a kid, like I keep saying on my podcasts, I went to the most strict Catholic school. And guys, this story, just get like a pack of wipes, and let me take you down to this story. Tell me why, as a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, I was introduced to beauty standards. Why would you introduce a 7-year-old to that? So I remember, I wanted to be in the choir so much. Not that I can sing. I can't sing. That's a reality. But I love music, right? So we had, this choir, and the choir had different, how can I call it? Like a criteria you must meet to join that choir. So we had, a first line of beautiful kids. So the beauty was they were light-skinned, they had dimples, and they were from a good family. That was the criteria. Now, of course, I'm not light-skinned. I don't have dimples. And my family was a moderate family, I would say. But also, I was in a school where, kids really were privileged kids. I went to a school where kids, were coming from really good, wealthy families. So I never had the privilege of being number one on the choir, whatever it's called, a line of the choir. So for you to belong to that choir, you must have met those criterias. So I was always on the third line, people of my skin color, because this teacher was really favoring people that had a lighter skin color. For her, that was the definition of beauty, right? So basically, first line and second line was the criteria, and then the third line, anyone on the third line was my skin complexion, and anyone who went beyond my skin complexion was never in the choir. It looks like a joke, but it is reality. They were locked up in the dormitory because they were not beautiful or light enough to belong to this choir. And that was so damn sad because, imagine introducing a 7 or 8-year-old kid to those beauty standards. And I remember going back home and telling my parents, the other criteria was that you had to be Catholic. And I was begging my dad, and I was like, Daddy, I wanna change my religion. We are from an Anglican home. My parents are Anglican, so I'm Anglican by birth. So I was telling my dad, Daddy, I need to change my religion. I was crying, and my dad is a strong Anglican man. My mom, was a leader in Mothers Union, so very strong Anglican home. My dad is like, what's happening to our child? I'm like, but I want to be holy, I want to be accepted. And now looking back, I don't think that I wanted to join that religion because I loved it, but I was just trying to fit in. And I remember that, with that school choir, really haunted a lot of kids. And if it came like to school plays, guys, anyone with my skin complexion was the devil. I can't. It was so bad. You were either the devil or you were the thief. Anyone of my skin color. For you, a light-skinned person was Angel Gabriel, Mother Mary, Joseph. But anyone of my skin complexion was the thief, the robber. I was not even a wise man. Like, tell me why I'm not a wise yet I'm from the East. Like, it was so horrible. And I remember that my older sister was in a higher grade than me, and she has like a more darker skin complexion that I have. So for her to make it to choir, she just never made it to choir, right? And the words that people were telling them was so hurtful. So for me, I grew up knowing that I'm not that beautiful. Okay, I grew up knowing that I'm there. I'm trying because that lady made me believe like that. Can you imagine? And sometimes we do carry those standards into our adulthood. Like, have you looked at someone and immediately you see them, you try to grade them, not beautiful enough, and you say these hurting words, but for you, they don't mean a lot because you grew up someone grading you like that, like someone putting you in your space because of their beauty standards. And one thing that I look back knowing is that lady, our choir mistress, was even darker than me. She was even darker than my sister. So you can imagine she was trying to project her insecurities on young children, on kids, like saying all those mean words to them and trying to put them down. And years later, when we opened up like a school page group and people were on that page, guys, people were so traumatic. There were trauma stories. And I thought that those memories were just my memories, but people came up with more stories, right? And people are going through therapy because of that. People don't feel like they are beautiful because of that. We even had a contest, and that contest, they would vote the most beautiful girl in every class. Like, how? Like, why? So, moving into like my older life, like I tried so much to fit into spaces, not because I love those spaces, but I just want to fit. Because looking back as a child, I wanted to be Catholic so bad, not because I love the religion, but because, man, it was easier for me to fit in. Then I would either belong to the choir or be like on the second line of choir, or like I would be favored because I was Catholic. I would get a school trip outside school. So as an adult, there are spaces I would enter and I would try so hard, to probably make people happy or say, just vibe to their stories. And it's so exhausting, guys. It's so exhausting to try to fit into a space. It took me a lot of time to realize that I had to be my best self to actually fit into a space. Like, I did not have to conform to the standards of the world. And I think my learning point mostly was, like, how much do you measure people the moment they enter a room? Like, are you looking at who they are and what they can deliver on a stage, or you're quickly going to assessing them? Because the first thing that I did as a kid was to assess you, how beautiful you are, who your parents are, which family that you come from. And I took that into my adulthood. Like, okay, I'm talking to this person, but who are they? Where do they come from? How rich are they? Like, it followed me into my adulthood, and I had to check myself, and I'm like, why am I behaving this way? And it took me back to, this is how I was brought up. This is how I was groomed. It's actually a kind of grooming, because that lady wanted us to fit into her society, yet her herself was even darker than we were, but she made us believe that our skin colors were not good enough. So I think that one thing that we need to always just reflect on as adults in our relationships, like, those biases that you're carrying from childhood, like, are you still carrying them on? Like, are you still trying to impress this guy? You're going on a date and you have to dress to the nines because this guy has to see you a perfect way, because probably you grew up knowing that when you go on a date, you must show up. Like, why can't we just be ourselves? Because imagine the time that we invest to impress people than impressing ourselves. Like, how much time do we take to work on ourselves? I've seen people shrink in rooms of opportunities because they want to impress someone. I remember my friend telling me, but Edith, for you enter a space and you just take over and you shine because, hey, it just did not come. It was hard work. It was, Edith, now you have to please who you are. You have to just do you, and then people will meet you there. Because if people don't meet you there, then they'll never love who you are, and you will evolve. I mean, look at marriage. How many stages of marriage are there? How long are you going to pretend? When your marriage, in the beginning, it is rosy flowers, sijui, what is that soap called? Santos, the guy brings flowers, you enter the home and, you guys are in love with each other. And then boom, 5 years later, you start to understand this person because they have evolved, because you're not the same person as you were years ago. So you're evolving. So how are you adapting to one another? So if you pretend right now, these colors are going to show up in that marriage. They're going to show up in that friendship. They're going to show up in that boardroom, in that workspace that you've worked for years. Your true character will show up. So enter that workspace. If someone says, hey, you are probably very bubbly, keep being bubbly. Right? Oh, you're too much. And what's the problem with being too much, by the way? Yeah, be too much. Be who you are, because you'll put in so much energy changing, camouflaging, and it takes too much energy and it drains the heavens out of you. Stop listening to those childhood voices. Stop listening to that teacher who told you you're not good enough, you can't make it, you're not smart enough, you're not beautiful enough. And start believing in yourself, because it all begins with you. If you don't believe in yourself, then no one will actually believe in you. Now looking back, I don't care how I look like. Me, I'm beautiful. And I have the most beautiful children. I have the most amazing husband. And nothing will change that perception of me, because I've grown to understand. I've grown to accept it. But I know that people facing trauma out because of those words. Just learn to grow. If you want to seek help, see a therapist. Have a friend that you speak to and learn how to grow out of those words, because the more you dwell in them, the more you feel sad about it, it's going to heavy down on you. So slow down. The world is too beautiful to be mad, right? The world is too beautiful for you to dwell on the things that really, really hurt you. So I hope after this podcast, you're going to reflect and say, no word is going to take me down. No situation will take me down. I'm taking away all that past trauma, all those words that I hear that keep pushing me down, and I'm going to get myself up and be better. Guys, see you on the next episode. I hope you're able to subscribe. Cheers.